So in this video I'm reviewing the Asics Gel Venture 8s, and I'm going to start with a quick rundown of the technical spec. If you want to skip this bit, then you can use the timestamps below to go straight to the review. So firstly, they're a trail shoe rather than a road shoe. The heel drop is 10mm, weight is 355 grams, the support is described as neutral and the cushioning regular. And Asics on their website, they actually say that you can use this for trail runs or for light hiking. So I've done about 200 miles in my Asics Gel Venture 8, so I'm going to give you a breakdown of how I found them so far, and also just any insights in case you're thinking of buying these, or if you've got a pair, to see if you've got similar thoughts on how they've fared. I'm going to break this down into 4 different areas, so comfort, versatility, durability, and affordability. So firstly, comfort. The reason why I got this shoe, this was my first pair of proper trail shoes that I got, but the reason why I got them was really for the width and for the breathability as well. So the width is really good. There's a good amount of width in the toe box, and I found that throughout the 200 miles that I've done them. It's quite a supple material, so there is a bit of give in there. The positive of that is that it can kind of move and reshape around your foot. The negative is that there might not be a huge amount of protection, so from kind of rocks or things kind of hitting the toe. So that's a positive for me, because I haven't been using them for anything too technical, anything too rocky, but could be a negative if you're wanting a shoe that's going to give you some serious protection around the toe. In terms of cushioning, I would say that the cushioning is ample. That's probably a way to describe it. It's really good for anything up to 20 miles. So beyond 20 miles, I've found that my foot really feels like it's feeling the rocks. So that's the only limitation I would suggest for comfort. Good cushioning for up to 20 miles. But if you've got stuff that's more rocky, then that could be a bit more of a challenge for a shoe like this. You might want a bit more cushioning. The other positive I'd say in terms of comfort is that it feels like it fits nice and snugly round your ankle. So you've got a nice padded tongue in there. I'm not really a fan of these shoes where you've just got a really kind of minuscule tongue, where there's not kind of much to it, but this is quite plush, and also around here you've got good support for your ankle too. So in terms of durability, I'd say that there hasn't been too great wear on this, and I've used this for quite a range of terrains. So I've used this for more rocky runs, for muddy paths, for gravel tracks, so quite a few different things. And not significant wear. If I think about the cushioning that I have now in comparison to when I first bought these, it's pretty similar, so quite a positive there. On the sole, slightly more wear just on this part of the sole. So actually down here the lugs are still in good condition, so they haven't worn down too much, but this part of the sole is worn down just a little bit more. So I can see that the lugs here probably have a millimetre or a fraction of a millimetre off them, but that's probably because when I'm going downhill I tend to kind of slide on my toes a little bit. So thirdly, versatility, and this is where I think the Gel Venture 8 score quite highly. I've used these probably for as much road as I have trails, and they're quite good for that because the lugs aren't too aggressive, and also they seem quite a supple shoe. It feels good on the road, so I'd say that they're quite a good commuter shoe. So if you're going to be running to some trails and you've got a few miles to go on roads, then this is a good shoe. In fact, running up here to the Downs, the South Downs today, I was probably running for a few miles on road, and then I transitioned onto gravelly paths, and I've been running on the grass a bit. And I would say that this shoe copes well with all of those terrains. The only area where it might not be versatile for trails is if you're looking to use it on very rocky ground, and also very muddy ground. So very rocky ground, it doesn't really have the protection, hasn't got a rock plate in it, So it's probably not great for very rocky trails where there's lots of kind of big stones and quite serious technical mountain stuff, for instance. And then the other thing, muddy trails, it's not going to deal with those so well because the lugs on here are only very, very small. But otherwise, you know, if I think between road and lots of different types of trail, pretty versatile overall. So the final thing, affordability, and this is where I'd say the Gel Venture 8 scores very highly. These were about 50 quid, so I think the RRP at the time when I bought them was about 65 pounds, but I got these on sale, 50 quid, and I think for what they do, that's really, really good value in terms of how well they've lasted, in terms of how they're versatile, and also just overall comfort. So those are my thoughts on the Asics Gel Venture 8s. In summary, I'd say that they are a good shoe for wide feet. Firstly, they're pretty versatile, but the possible limitation I would say on them is that after about 20 miles or so, then you really do start to feel the ground if you're on more rocky terrain, particularly in your midfoot. So those are my thoughts. Overall, a good shoe, very good value. If you found that useful, then do like the video, and I've got some other reviews up on my channel, so do have a look at those and consider subscribing. Thanks for tuning in.